playing a ball club like this, it really kind of gets you up a little bit, especially when you're underdogs at home, saying an awful lot about the type of team we had coming in. So our guys stepped up to the plate. Defensively, we knew, very good quarterback, good skill guys. It would be a big challenge for our young defensive line and our young secondary, but they really stepped up to the table. Last week we weren't really good on third down conversions, but so tonight, of course, a lot of second game, improvement, and that, from that sense. Offensively, of course, Mike Epstein did a great job last week. I think he was over 100 yards this week, and that's saying an awful lot. Started two true freshmen with Alex and Larry. Both of them side by side did an excellent job, as the rest of our offensive line did. So feel real good about the win. One of our goals going into the season was to finish 3-0 with our non-conference schedule. We have a chance to do that. Injury-wise, Nate Eckert went down with a serious knee injury. I think the rest of the guys were able to come back. It's unfortunate that we lost Trey Watson when we did. That can knock you back a little bit when you lose the leader of your defense, but it's always next guy up. So big team win for us. Nothing like seeing your football team celebrate in the locker room after a big win. Take your question.
How much growth did you see week 1 and week 2 in your team?
A lot. And we talk a lot about that. I've talked a lot about that. You should see a lot of second game improvement, especially when you have a young ball club like we do. They're being put in situations that's new to them each week, but again, they stepped up to the plate and taking advantage of it.
In a 6-0 game, you get the pick six. Just talk about what that meant to your team. How that changed everything.
For you guys that have been around us, you know how much emphasis we put on taking the ball away. That's what it's about, turnover ratio. And when you can score a defensive touchdown, most of my time in coaching, you have a great chance of winning when you can get one defensive score. So that was big to finish it up that half that way. Great play by Julian Jones.
As your defense came out the field a couple times, they were really fired up coming out. That's got to really feel good to you to see their excitement and enthusiasm once they come off after they make a good play.
Yes, there's nothing like, and you should be excited when you make big plays, and they know how important those are. It's a close-knit group, and they realize what they need to do as much as anything. So to accomplish some of that, it's big.
Was maybe that first offensive drive in the second half.
I'm sorry?
That first offensive drive in the second half, 15 plays, like those 9 minutes.
Big. Going in, we had some momentum, knew that we would get the ball to start the second half. So offense knew that, and to be able to do it that way, just methodically down the field, again, that's how you want to start a second half off. And that's what offense is capable of doing throughout. Take away that that turnover there late, and that's the kind of type of ball we want to be able to play.
Could you envision this kind of start for Mike? Starting off as well as he has these first 2 games during camp.
Well, he's been like that throughout camp, and normally if you practice that way, you have a good chance of playing that way. And it's one thing the first game, no one really knows anything about you, but the second, game, of course, everybody knew he's starting, and again, a lot of you want to see young guys take that type of step their second time out, and just tip of the iceberg a little bit too. He'll tell you he left some other plays out there on the field.
Coach, what happened to the sideline interference call?
Who's that? Sideline interference. There's an emphasis this year on coaches, players being back. We broke the rules and we were penalized for it.
Coaches came into this game with 7-point underdog against the Conference USA team. Right. Is this a game you think maybe open some eyes around college football a little bit?
No. It's given our team momentum, confidence to when you can beat a team like that. Western Kentucky is a good football team, and they're going to have an excellent year this year. So I think it was more probably about us, than them tonight. But whenever you're Your underdogs at home, I mean, you should be pumped up and can't wait to do something about that.
Well, you had a few guys in the team whose parents lived in Tampa, Donnie's family, his son's down there. How did you get them to focus, or what's that been like for some of those guys?
I mean, that's just a part of being a football player. I mean, you have to, what's in front of you? Not a whole lot we can do. I mean, I have a home in Tampa too, so but it wasn't that time. I mean, we're going to pray and hope and do whatever we can before and after the game, but during that time, it was about football. And each day you go to practice, there's something going on in a lot of players' life, and of course during the games, but you have to be able to lock in, and just concentrate on the game during that time. Right now, though, our thoughts are with the people that we know down in Tampa, and we have quite a few guys, as you know, from the state, coaches. We just hope that everything is okay.
Coach, your freshman defensive linemen obviously played really well. Talk about those guys, what they were able to do today on the big stage.
Whenever you're a freshman and you moved into the starting lineup at a Big Ten school, they're saying an awful lot about you and what we think of you. And we put guys out there that we think we can win football games with. Bobby Roundtree has been a good player since he's been on campus. Isaiah Gay has done the same thing. Jamal Woods. Those players have kind of earned the reps that they've gotten. And I know we talk a lot about the freshmen, but we have other young players. Jamal Milan is a young player. Tymir Oliver is a young player. Kenyon Jackson. There's a lot of those guys really stepping up to the plate.
Nate Hobbs, too, Coach. Talk about him.
Nate Hobbs?
Big. Nate's from the state, in the state of Kentucky. So I think he was committed at one time to Western Kentucky. So it was a big game for him. This is 2 weeks. He's practiced for 2 weeks, so we're really excited about his potential down the line. Tony Adams, Bennett Williams, all these freshmen, of course, are getting better and better.
What would it like just having your team kind of bounce back from the targeting penalty, come right back and get the forced fumble?
They looked at it. We know the rules, and not that Trey was trying to do it, but when it happens, it's always about the next guy up. That's why you try to develop your depth best you can. And at any moment, it could be the next guy. Delshawn, Dele Harding came in and really did a good job. And he's been a good player for us all along. So we expected good play from Dele when he went in.
Evaluate Chase and the offense struggled to get going.
Struggle, but we were hanging in there, doing what we needed to do in a game like that where, every little bit counts. When you can't move the ball an awful lot, it's about ball security. So we hung in there, and sometimes you have to play off of what the other side is doing. Defense kind of had control a lot, so we had to hang in there until we had an opportunity. Got the opportunity, of course, to start that second half, and we took advantage of it.
Coach, there's a lot of ways a game can change momentum, or you can sort of take over. Both games, Ball State and tonight, both happened off of takeaways. And you took the lead, or it was a big play, momentum, score, and then from there on out, you sort of held ball control. How important for this young defense where they can look at the tape and say, hey, both times it was us making a play and really change sort of the narrative?
Well, it's huge. And then again, you guys have been around us. You know how much we preach it, but the guys believe it. And they know that that's how you change games. But, and again, we're on record now of what it has done to help us win football games. Now, everybody wants to get involved and make a big play like that. So defensively, I mean, our first goal on defense is a score, just like it is on offense. So, again, guys are getting the message.
Blake Hayes, another freshman coach, made some big kicks deep in your own territory.
We have so many freshmen, you kind of forget some of them. But, yes, Blake Hayes has 2 good games he's put together. We went a long ways to get Blake, and he's enjoying his first taste of American football. Just think, the guy's never lost a football game in his life. Think about that.
How do you like the offensive line play, especially after last week?
I think everybody was playing in a different position tonight, starting in a different position. So that's saying quite a bit about Coach Buckus and the rest of the crew. Coach Tobe, Coach Buckus, get the guys ready, but for the players to step up. Nick Algrady, Nick's our captain, selected by his teammates, moving to center. That's tough duty. But you could talk about all of those guys. They kind of gelled a little bit as a unit tonight.
Coach, before the punt that pinned them down, before the pick, you had like a fourth and about 3 or 4. Did you think about let's go for it, or was it always a punt?
I mean, Bob, you see what we did. It's not like we were waiting. You know, it's a decision. To me, that was kind of an easy one. Defense playing pretty good. Wanted to pin him down there. Then going for it and missing it, we're giving them great field position to go the other way. So I think that was an easy call. I don't normally hear boos, but I think there were a couple there, but I think it worked out okay.
Coach, Honor got a lot more carries this. I mean, he didn't have any carries this week. He's got 12 this week. What does he bring to the table that you saw brought an advantage against this Western Kentucky team?
And going into the first game, we wanted to play Ray Vaughn. Feel good about all 3 of our running backs. He's had an excellent fall camp too. He has a little bit more size to him, but he'll be a part of the mix too. And the plan, of course, was to get him time this week. And I thought he did a pretty good job.
Last week, Ball State and their passing game was able to take advantage of some underneath routes. What did you see tonight where your defense had those kind of locked up?
We play. I mean, playing man is a base part of what we do. But I think, again, I'm gonna go back to just second game improvement. You look at the video and then you start making adjustments from there. It helps when you're getting pressure and the quarterback can't stay back there a long period of time. Last week, the quarterback really hurt us scrambling the football. We were playing against a different type quarterback. We in the pocket most of the time this week. I think all it helped.
Lovie, how do you prepare not knowing what the weekend?
Tomorrow's problems will, take care of themselves. Tonight, guys are going to celebrate. Tomorrow, pretty soon, I assume fairly quick we'll know exactly what we're doing. But we have South Florida on the schedule. We assume we're going to South Florida to play them this Friday night. It's a quick turnaround for us. That's how we're preparing as we leave tonight.
Did they give you a timetable of when they might let you know?
No, we don't look ahead. It's all about West Kentucky. Again, we'll find out in due time, what's happening down there. But right now, as far as we're concerned, they're gonna get through the hurricane and play the game Friday night, and we need to be ready to go.
Coach, what was it like to see the improvement on your defense with those third down stops?
Point of emphasis. Can't win games when you let them convert as much as we did the week before. And that'll be the case always. And you have a chance. Time of possession, you can kind of trace that a lot to the third down. A lot better job tonight by the